Hello, 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 and welcome, my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for April, May 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very happy to be working for you today. How y'all doing? If you're new to my channel, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell because I'm putting out content pretty much every single day, doing live streams in the morning and at night to help us all get through this thing that we're going through on planet Earth. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube, and I'm okay with that. As well as putting out these video recorded general reads for you all, so please do follow along. I'm having a field day, and I hope I can help you all get through this as well. That being said, this is a general reading, right? It's not a personal reading. If you want a personal reading, my info is in the description box below. I'm very easy to book, and particularly if you're on Facebook, we do Facebook video chat. I do them all the time. That's why I haven't been putting out as many readings of the videoed kind, because I've been taking clients from all around the world. It's been kind of really wonderful and cool. That being said, because this is a general read, please take what resonates, leave what does not, and check your other signs, which is why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and why I try and keep them informative as well as entertaining, right? So that being said, what we're looking at here is a soulmate contract read. And what that means, soulmate contracts, there's been a lot of written and said on the subject of soulmate and twin flame and all of that. So I have two videos down in my description box defining what twin flames and soulmates are, at least how I work the terms, as it were. One is my own that I did, and one is from the spiritual teacher Matt Kahn, Hay House author and YouTuber. His YouTube channel is awesome, Matt Kahn, All for Love. Go check him out. His videos are great. I adore him. Never met him. Actually using his healing mantra deck as the last card down in this spread. That's how much I really adore his work. I don't know him. I'm not getting any kickbacks. But he's really helped me out quite a bit. He's even younger than I am. So how's that for humility? Rock and roll. Okay. So a soulmate, in this case, is a soul contract, pre-incarnational agreement between two souls to help each other heal. They're not all romantic sexual, though the one we're going to look at in this particular reading is a romantic sexual intimate contract, because those are the ones that are, let's just say those are the ones most people want to know about. Yeah, my mom and I are a soulmate contract. We've been helping each other heal pretty much since before I was born. But, you know, I want to know about the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic contracts that I've been working on lifetime after lifetime, right? Considering psychology is so relatively new in human history, the idea of narcissism, the idea of passive aggression, you know, this stuff is tricky. But if we're helping each other heal through this, maybe it's time. Maybe the planet could use that influx of that kind of love on the planet right now. So, with the larger purpose fueling all of this, we are going to be looking at it in terms of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Party number one and party number two. When I say divine feminine, divine masculine, what I really want to say is divine yin and divine yang. There's really more of that Eastern flavor in my philosophies. But it has nothing to do with biological gender, that's for sure. So that's why the cards that I'm going to use, there are only, I think we're doing, what, 17 cards in total for these spreads. The first two will lay down a Caroline Myss archetype card, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. The archetypal parameters and attributes will give you a little flavor of who might be who in this contract. Remember to tune into how it feels energetically, how it feels, what resonates. And I do that by focusing on my breath as I go. And if you do the same, we'll all be drawing from the same source of guidance and grace. Cool, cool. Let's do this. You ready? Oh, all the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. Go have a look. I give good description box. I do, if I could say so. Pat on the back. Nice deep breath. Here we go. Ooh, that was a breath. Okay, my collective pantheons. of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 2 cards, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine in this Sagittarian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, one for the divine feminine first, ladies first. Thank you very much. And one for the divine masculine. There we go. Now, the way these cards are designed, on the bottom of the card there is the shadow attribute, the top the light, because archetypes are neutral. So ultimately the light and the shadow should cancel each other out. But where are you on that spectrum from lead to gold, light to shadow, toxic to healthy? So the shadow is supposed to be triggery, right? It's the stuff that you want to keep in the shadows, what we do in the shadows. Such a great show. That you don't want people to know about, you don't even want to look at yourself. But keep in mind that's the very material that is being healed in the soul contract, not just within yourself, regardless of which side of this you are on, but in the soulmate contract itself. Yeah, ready? We've got the divine feminine gossip and the divine masculine thief. Now, neither one of those sound really nice, but I'll tell you, as toxic as their shadow is as brilliant and bright as their light is. That's how it works, right? As a matter of fact, some of the greatest counselors I've ever known or worked with were reformed gossips, because they can absolutely draw out of people the truth that they don't want to tell, right? Like a good gossip can. And as for the thief, we'll get there, but let's start with our divine feminine. The shadow attribute thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences, and we know that's not great. I have taken a vow of confidentiality with my gods, which allows me to do this work in particular with such amazing empathic, clairvoyant accuracy, and that's the beauty of this work. Who cares? It's on video, right? It's not a private read. But I've been bit in the ass so many times by gossip that I don't gossip anymore. I mean, celebrity gossip is one thing, but I never betray confidences because I've had so many of my own betrayed. So I'm familiar with this one. The light attribute awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, right? So think of that. Hold that in your mind for a minute. Is that you? Because everybody likes a little gossip here and there. Celebrity gossip, you know, stuff like that. Oh, did you hear what Marge around the corner is doing? That kind of stuff. That's fine to an extent. But do you pass it on? Do you thrive on it, right? Because that is the word. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information. Moving it then into a real place of consideration for others' feelings. Now, the thief archetype might be a little harder for you to wrap the mind around in terms of the light, but I think you'll like it for the divine masculine. The shadow, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Like, have you ever been with somebody who sucks all the energy out of the room? Maybe that's more of the psychic vampire, what we do in the shadows. But also someone who steals attention, who steals focus. The light side, I think you'll like this. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Think about that. Your wealth of compassion, your wealth of honor, your wealth of love, your wealth of kindness, right? That stuff can never be stolen. The more you give it away, the more of it you have. So it's a neat card. I really, well, but you know, like think Robin Hood, right? The Prince of Thieves. And my kitty cats are just staring at me. It's nowhere near their dinner time, but they think it is. Now that I'm home all the time, I mean, I work from home anyway, but I've become feline butler, and I'm okay with that because I'm the mama. So if you're not sure exactly who you are in this, worry not. We're going to take 5 cards from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine Gossip, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, the Elements spread to kind of clarify her. Remember, I got to say him and her here. It has nothing to do with biological gender. It's just a syntax. I need to do this clearly, cleanly, and quickly. For the Divine Masculine, we're going to be using the Mythic Tarot. So let's get down to biz. Nice deep breath. My goddesses, the collective of the divine feminine energy, the divine yin, please. Top 5 cards for this divine feminine gossip archetype in this Sagittarius collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Element of fire, what does she want? Element of earth, what does she have to help her achieve what she wants? Element of air, what does she think about it? Element of water, what does she feel about it? And soul, spirit, the card of spirit, what is the point of view, the voice of her soul in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, I hear you, soulmate contract, April, May 2020, maiden, mother, crone. Great. Let's have a look-see-dooksy. We'll do him next. Let's get her on the table. Element of fire. What does this gossip want? The Gemini card. Now, the Gemini card can be very gossipy, right? Mutable air. A rumor can run around the world before the truth even has its boots on. It's from Terry Pratchett, my favorite, unfortunately deceased author, but still will always be my favorite author, Discworld forever. But so then really is wanting to express herself. I mean, unless this divine masculine is a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whoever, whatever, which could be, right? Absolutely, it's going to play itself out differently in the quantum field of an entire zodiacal collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. But here we're really looking at the mutable air, the Gemini, the movement of thought. Mutable means changeable. Geminis are known to be verbose, chatty, verbal, right? In terms of really good at expressing themselves, but not necessarily so focused. Mutable air, different than fixed air, which is Aquarius, right? They can be a bit more focused. So we'll see what other cards come up with this. Otherwise, third house, Gemini's third house, ruled by Mercury, self-expression, right? And also gathering information. So she might be gathering information as well. How a Gemini will go like a bee from flower to flower to flower to flower to flower, collecting what it needs and then create something new out of it. That can be very gossip-ish, gossip-esque. Let's keep going. What does she want there? Because she might be trying to get information about this divine masculine, right? This card's been coming up a lot, and it hasn't come up in the past few readings, so I'm going to go with this and say that this is the card of the Empress, so what she has is a very strong, grounded sense of the divine feminine within her. So if this is the Sagittarian, remember, you could be the cross-watcher, you know, not necessarily everybody watching this is the Sagittarian Sun, Moon, Rising sign, then we're really looking at someone very nurturing here, someone very fertile. The Empress is the amalgamation of all of the queens in the tarot, right? So the four element queens, you could say this is the spirit queen or the Empress, Mawu. Definitely, oh yeah, no, this one was in the Libra reading, if I remember correctly. You might want to check the Libra if you're the divine feminine in this one. And if you have any placements in Libra. Because I can feel this. It's like very much wanting to nurture, very much wanting to be receptive, but to be receptive in a warm, romantic, balanced sort of way, but also something very earthy here too as well, wants the physical, tactile. So though maybe sort of intellectually stimulated or wants that intellectual stimulation, that communication, which, you know, a Sagittarian will want. You know, a Sagittarian doesn't want to be bored. They want to be challenged. They want to, like hunters, always be looking towards the next thing that they want. So wants to be expressing herself, and of course where we are on planet Earth, not just, I'm feeling not just the intellectual contact, which maybe you can get through texting and emails and phone calls, but also very much wanting that tactile physical, and she's set up for that, this divine feminine gossip. And remember, this can be a male, but definitely has more of that nurturing, earthy, abundant, fertile. And by the way, I'm getting something physically sturdy here. Now, maybe not so much in terms of build, but stable. You know what I mean? Like, she's not made of spun glass. Like, you could speak your truth to her and she will get it. And maybe that's part of the self-expression thing there, that she's sort of craving that sort of back and forth, mutable air conversation, as a gossip perhaps would, when she's evolved in that place of honoring trust. You know, so what is a healed gossip? A confidant, a counselor, right? A natural counselor. So what's going on in her element of air? Since we've got, you know, with that gossip, obviously that's an air signy kind of thing. But with that Gemini card, in her element of air, however, is the storm. So though she may not be so emotionally at storm, she might be brainstorming. She might have lots of different thoughts. Now, granted, it is a water card, so her mind might be very influenced by the changing emotions that are going on, and keeping in mind she wants to express herself mutable air, changing air. In her air, she's got changing water. Storms pass. You know, this is a temporary thing we're all going through, however long it lasts, but it's affecting her emotionally. It's affecting all of us emotionally, but that it's on her mind. She wants to express herself. She wants to be able to perhaps have a conversation that is guarded, that is confidential. Although I think we're going to find if we all wrote down what we're really feeling about this and compared it, we would have more in common than not. Just saying. So yeah, her mind may certainly be I don't want to say shaken, because I'm not getting that. I'm really feeling that she's got that earthy, stable thing there, but she's got her emotions on her mind, what she wants, and I believe her mind is changing as a result of her emotions, and she wants to express that with someone, to someone, but it does feel more like with than to. To is one direction, with is back and forth. So what's going on in her element of water? What's going on in her emotional field? She's having revelations. This is the card of celebration in this deck, which is the card of judgment in the cycle of the tarot, the card right before the world or the universe. Now, if you look at this card, it is women, right, holding hands, circle dancing around a central point. It looks like they are in the mountains. But if you kind of blink your eyes and look again, they are dancing on the belly of the mother, with breasts in the foreground, pubic mound in the background, the thighs, right? And they're dancing around the mother's navel, Mother Earth. Now, by the way, there you have the Mother Earth, essentially in her element of Earth. So in her emotion, she might very well be having emotional revelations. And let's call this for what it is. We're all going through such emotional trauma and grieving for what used to be, and the uncertainty of not knowing what tomorrow will bring, let alone what our future is, that she might be having some real revelations, making some full circles within herself, and really having revealed to her what it is that she really wants, maybe even her purpose in life, or at least what she really wants in a relationship. That she might be ready for soulmate, you know. Oh wow, I'm getting a very old Joan Jett song from her first album, You Don't Know What You've Got Till It's Gone, right? So maybe now that things have been threatened, she's growing up from that place of betraying confidences into really wanting to communicate what's being revealed to her emotionally. Because we're all in a process of maturation. If we get anything out of what's going on planet Earth right now, let's mature physically, emotionally, mentally, and obviously spiritually. One more card down, speaking of spiritually, the Spirit card, the point of view or voice of her soul in this soulmate contract. The Lovers. All right, 3 major arcana cards. We've got the Empress, we've got the Judgment card, Celebration here, and we've got the Lovers. So yeah, her soul is saying, it's soulmate time, honey. You've been through enough twin flames. Really, go watch the Matt Kahn videos. The video, it'll make sense. You need a lot of twin flames. They're the crucible that transforms you, right? She might have been through enough of that, where now it's like, yeah, there's a decision that has to be made, a life-changing decision. If you really want this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, not just love affair, this feels like partnership for her. That the soul is saying, if you're not ready, You don't gotta get ready if you stay ready. But it feels like she is in the process. She's being prepared for everything going on in this world, is transforming her, getting her ready for this. And so she's having a lot of emotional revelations, but she just doesn't want to like put it on blast to everyone everywhere on social media. She kind of wants to keep learning and keep experiencing this. She may very well be on a roll with a need to communicate. Let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine Thief archetype, because he's in for a good time here. At least a verbal one, right? At least a intellectual one to start off with. Lots of deeper conversations. Look, 3 major arcana cards. This is not shallow. And if she has the 5 of Cups, the storm in the mind, I'm going to say she's got a brainstorm going on, and one that's driven by the, it's a good phrase, I like this, the emotion of inspiration. But she may not have anybody that she can really trust to talk about this with. Let's find out what's going on with our Divine Masculine here. Breathe. My gods, please, the collective of all the Divine Masculine energy in the universe, top 5 cards, element spread for the Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying. Soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Fire, what does he want? Earth, what does he have? Air, what does he think about it? Water, what does he feel about it? And spirit, what is the voice or the point of view of his soul in this soulmate contract? Oh, ready? Okay. April, May 2020. Sun, Father, Sage. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with him. What does he want? Element of fire. He wants the devil. No, this is the card of Pan. This is the Greek god of nature. Now, there is Pan. There are 2 faces of Pan that I have come across. One is Pan, the son of Hermes. That's why I have my little Pan statue right next to the bust of Hermes. But then there is also Pan, the compatriot of Diana. In other words, the masculine face of nature, the horned god, Cernunnos, that whole gestalt of divine masculine in terms of earth, right? Something more nature wild, with Diana, the mother of all. Diana actually is a goddess that predates both Roman and Greek culture in a sense, that she is the great mother, the all-mother, and in a way, the more water element of the Empress. So it's interesting that in a way, even though this is an African goddess Mawu, that we sort of have Pan and Diana here in a way. Mother and father of all, or at least mother and father nature. So in terms of what he wants to get his groove on. I'm not feeling that shadowy, like dark, although, you know, he's got the thief archetype. Now, you have a thief archetype. It doesn't mean you are a thief archetype. I may use that language on and off to describe someone's energy field or their soul contract. But chances are, if he keeps stealing and thieving and thieving and thieving, keeping that all in the shadow, she's going to bust him wide open with that. So while I get that part of it, because the devil is certainly the shadow, embracing the shadow, the underworld, the stuff we don't want to deal with, if that's in the element of fire, then that's something he wants to bring to light. That's something that he wants to heal. But touching the card right now, I can feel the tingle in my fingers. It's a little horny. Maybe a lot of horny. Considering if he's in isolation by himself, right? So he's sort of getting the primal urge, so to speak. And if this is the Sagittarian, I mean, I've never met a Sagittarian that didn't have a case of the hornies in one way or another. So let's keep going. Let's see what that's about. What's in his element of earth? 10 of Swords. So he's at the end of his intellectual rope, so to speak, right? The 10 is the resolution of something. Now, that doesn't always mean, you know, like in the Rider-Waite deck, face down, 10 swords in your back. That's not betrayal, That card never meant betrayal for me. That means that, okay, this subject is done. It is over. So it might be that in terms of his own mental prowess, where he is right now, he has come to a mental conclusion. He has done the research. He has done the introspection, the thinking about his life, and has come to a conclusion. And yes, indeed, something has been put to rest. And hopefully it's that stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers he thinks he has lacked, or at least he's in that place of willing to shed light on the personal wealth within him that cannot be stolen, like the love that he has to give, and perhaps even his own sexual energy. It's a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic contract we're looking at here. What's going on in his element of air, since air is prominent in his element of earth? And the death card, absolutely, his mind has transformed. No question. We're really talking very underworld energies here between the Pan and Hades, the devil and the death card. So his mind has been transformed, or at least he's thinking about it. He's thinking about changing his life. So in terms of a thief archetype, it is about becoming Robin Hood then, in a way. Is this Maid Marian? I don't know. She seems not so damselly for a Maid Marian, if you know what I mean. Particularly with that goddess archetype so strong, the divine feminine empress. But for that card of death, he is certainly contemplating a change of his life, and who isn't right now, but particularly one of rising from the ashes, of being transformed from the inside out, which do take time, right? The death card isn't the tower. The tower is that lightning flash. Bam! Your whole life is different, which we know what that's like, don't we, as of late? But this is more that longer ongoing process. So he's really thinking things differently. His life has been transformed, but it is in process. So it's probably for the best these two are not together right now. Although she's still got that big decision about whether she really wants to commit. If they do know each other, she's probably got a really good intuitive idea about where he's been, with that card of revelation, that card of celebration, that interior full circle, that aha moment. What will she do about it? While he really might be thinking about not just changing his ways, but transforming his life. There is a difference. What's going on in his emotional field? The Empress. That's why I use two different tarot decks. If they don't know each other, he's feeling her. Now remember, there's a quantum entanglement due to soul contracts. Twin flame or soulmate, but soulmate, it is that really beneficent, supportive, soothing, satisfying thing. So it might be that his thieving days are over and he does want to settle down, but he wants to settle down with somebody who is unconditionally loving, who will accept him for his past as long as he keeps moving along. Now, that the Empress is both in her earth and his water, then even if they don't know each other, he's feeling her. But if they do know each other, whether they have had a dance before or they might have known each other before everything went down, it's a big deal. It really is a big deal. I can feel that because it's like she's in his heart, whether they know each other or not. And that's going to play out differently depending on who's watching this. Very exciting. I don't have any planets in Sag, but it seems very exciting as a reader. What's the card of spirit, the point of view or voice of the soul? 10 of Wands. Now, so he's got two tens. His soul is saying, all right, you completed what you wanted to do here. You stole what you needed to steal. You learned your lesson. It's how your life was scripted, this thief archetype, and now you have the ability to really grasp the completion of the lesson, which is what is within you that cannot be stolen, the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen, and perhaps that is his own creativity, his own love, his own emotional abundance. So I feel like that was always there in him. Again, either one of these or both of these can have Sagittarius placements, but with that Empress there and that completion, this is, hey, come here. The golden fleece has been retrieved. It's done. The quest is over. according to the soul, a real place of completion. Here she is just about completion in terms of her own emotional revelation of what she wants. He's, at least on the soul level, has attained what he's wanted. Maybe a little battered and bruised and exhausted as a result of it, but perhaps is really ready to settle down and is ready to put aside his thieving ways for good. Remember, with transformation, it's not just a change. You can't unburn a cookie, right? The weather changes. The weather doesn't transform. When you apply heat to something, the element of fire, when something goes through the death phase, death and rebirth, there's no going back, right? Like, for some reason, my family, I don't know, maybe it's a Sicilian thing, I don't know, I've never seen it anywhere else, but they like their chocolate chip cookies a little burnt. Me, not so much. I like them golden crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. I don't know that that's cultural, but you know what I mean? I get a little bit of that part of it, you know, but don't chip a tooth. Interesting couple here. I kind of like them. They're going to have a lot to talk about, that's for sure. We've got 5 more cards to get on the table, though, 2 of which are going to be from the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Been reading this deck in tandem with the Daughters of the Moon for decades. So let's see what the angels have to say here, one for each. And because it's the Healing with the Angels Oracle, what is the healing with the angels that's going on with them individually, one for her, one for him, but that is influencing, helping them heal each other in the relationship, whether they're right next to each other, whether they know each other and can't be together, or whether they've never met, right? So this is real celestial stuff, so take a deep breath. My angels, please, 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine Gossip and one for the Divine Masculine Thief archetype in this Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, satisfying, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020, please. One for her, please. Thank you very much. And one for him, please. Thank you very much. Dreams. She's got the Angel of Dreams, which, yes, has a dual meaning there. One, of course, being the nocturnal dreams. Of course, the soul can communicate through the dreams. Though I had a dream this morning that we had 2 little kittens, and they were teeny tiny little things bouncing around like this video I watched of a baby weasel. It's really cute. But there were 2 of them, and my 3 boys were there, and they were actually being kind to the things. I was like, this is a dream, because my boys won't. They're like, there's 3 of us, we're not doing any more. And I'm okay with that, too. So that was probably a YouTube video that I watched regurgitating in my subconscious mind. Still, doesn't mean that the soul can't communicate that my family might be getting larger. Ooh, I didn't feel that till that came out my mouth. Clairvoyant empathy for fun and profit, not what you think it is. But the other is about life dreams, right? The heart's desires. What are the things that she wants? And I do feel, with that card of the Empress, the card of celebration as well as revelation, and the card of the Lovers, that this is something this Divine Feminine has wanted her whole life. I mean, anybody who's watching a reading like this is probably going to be wanting this for a while. Because why would we get a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract day 1? Well, that would be an infant, but you know what I mean, once you're of age. Don't you have to go through the turbulence of twin flames and learning what you want and who you are, even if the person you start off with might be the person you end up with, a horrible way of saying it, but you have to go through that hero's journey of the path that you love to know that that's what you want and that's who you're meant to be with. Don't give up on your dream if you're the Divine Feminine. Because the Divine Masculine has the Angel of Forgiveness, and most likely this is about forgiving himself, right? About forgiving his own perceived lack, because we are all divine children, and we are souls that were chosen by our higher power, call them what you want, to incarnate in these bodies with these soulmate contracts in order to learn, to heal, to grow, and further the development of the soul. just like an actor on their first acting job is not going to be as proficient as someone like Al Pacino, who's got a decades and decades long career playing not just the same thing. I mean, granted, okay, he's played a lot of gangstery kind of roles, but that's not the only thing he's done. So why be the damsel every single lifetime? Doesn't make sense, right? The soul is really a hologram of the entire divine panoply of life. So why wouldn't you want to play things out? So to kind of get from a soul level here that he learned what he had to learn here, now it's time to really heal and forgive. And learning to forgive yourself is not the easiest thing in the world. But if you're carrying guilt, I'm going to refer to something I learned from Matt Kahn in terms of his mantra deck. Couldn't happen any other way. This is how our lives are written. Not that it's written in stone, but the quantum plays out in ways so that the soul gets what it needs to learn in each life. And remember, you can come back and play the life again. Yeah, that's called meta-incarnation. I didn't know that was a thing. But you can come back and play the same life. And I know you say, oh, I'd never do that again. I don't want to come back to this planet. Until you croak and see it's like a great big cosmic video game. And you're like, oh, all right, one more time. Let's do that again. And then you come in and you're like, oh no, elementary school, FML. All right. Let's keep going. What is the point of view of the voices of the higher selves of all involved through the Whispers of Love Oracle? I love this deck. It really comes right out and says, do this a lot of the time. Or this is what this is. Huh? So let's do just that. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, ho, ho, the higher selves of all involved, please. 2 cards. 1 for the divine feminine gossip. 1 for the divine masculine thief archetype in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate contract. What is your whisper of love for these 2 collective higher selves here? Because I hear what you're saying. They're saying, yeah, they've both been shady. So they're going to help each other learn how to forgive themselves by forgiving each other, which is kind of incredibly sacred, gotta say. Even if they've hurt each other in the past, that the field of forgiveness is just between the 2 of them is not just going to heal them, it's going to ripple out to all of life. There is a huge piece of a planetary healing contract here. So please, that was a lot to see. So please, higher selves of all involved, 1 for this divine feminine gossip archetype, please, and 1 for this divine masculine thief. Yep, that's the one. Poked me in the finger. What she got? You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. And I think with the predominance of energy that she has here... Oh, just hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. The plug fell out of the camera. One of them died in the middle of the reading, so better I caught it. You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do that, regardless of what her past is. With that card of the Empress, it is saying the divine feminine within her is ready to go, at least in terms of a solid foundation of unconditional love. So the forgiveness aspect, it probably is a big deal, but that she's having emotional revelations, perhaps even of the true innocence of her soul and perhaps all souls. The Course in Miracles says point blank. Well, it uses masculine pronoun, but it means all of us. It says the Son of God cannot sin in a dream. In other words, you can't sin in a quantum hologram. It's a virtual reality, not an actual one. But we're such good actors, we forgot we're acting, right? So you're limitless. She can have what she wants, including the manifestation of her dreams. Do not give up, sweetheart. He's getting it together. You're getting it together. What's he got? Take a chance on love. It's very ABBA in a way. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. Take a chance on love, divine masculine thief, because that's the potential within you, the potential wealth that can never be stolen. And the more you give it away, the more of it you have. Beautiful. 1 card left. We are going to do that Matt Kahn healing mantra card as I said I would. One side of the card is the name of the mantra so I can look it up in the bookie book, because I'm going to look it up in the bookie book. The other side is the mantra itself. That's all that's written on the card. So that's why I like looking it up. It gives you just this little extra bit of information. Now, the caveat on this one, and it's a good caveat, is that whoever is watching this, if you work the mantra for yourself, you're helping each other heal. So even if the other here, whether it's the divine masculine or divine feminine, never sees this reading or isn't into this stuff or anything like that, you keep working this mantra for April, May 2020. It's going to help both of you heal. That's the quantum entanglement of a soul contract, and ultimately we're all one anyway. Holographic healing. Breathe. Because I'm asking the Ascended Masters of Soulmate contracts. I know they're like specialists in a law firm, really focusing on not just soul contract law, but soulmate contract law. Let's see what they say. My Ascended Masters, please, one card, just one, the perfect healing mantra for this Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, satisfying soulmate contract for April 2020 involving this divine feminine gossip and this divine masculine thief. Please, Ascended Masters, what is their perfect healing mantra for their soul mate contract, April, May 2020? Creating cooperation. No shit. We're trying to make that light turn out there. Creating cooperation. It's automatic. I don't know how to turn it off. It's one of those technological things. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. Yeah. This is going to be a power couple. I mean, I am getting a little bit of Harley Quinn and the Joker here, right? Like, they both had their shadowy past, but I think the situation that they're in, they've been in the crucible, they've suffered enough, and they're kind of like, okay, it's time to straighten up and fly right. And they're both kind of having their own revelations. Oh my God, wait, 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards, 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards, so they are really equally matched. But they really, I don't like saying the word they need each other, because that indicates a dependency that I don't think is healthy. But this contract needs to happen so that they learn how to help each other heal, that they are in this together. And it would make sense that soulmate contracts might have a bit more of a heavier load because they have help. Where in twin flames, you learn how to heal yourself, you learn how to love yourself, you learn how to set boundaries and all that stuff. They suck, twin flame contracts, but they're very healing in terms of your own self-esteem, your own individual path. These two might have had really rough pasts, or at least a lot of pain and suffering, and a lot of behavior that came from that wasn't so great, so that they can create cooperation, I think, is a real key here. Let me get you what this says here. Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. When cooperation is created, the unity of all, sorry, one more time. There's no punctuation there. There's not supposed to be. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is access to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth by serving a vision greater than any degree of individual gain. And I have to say, I felt like that there is something global planetary about these two. That even though they may not, be the next Bill and Melinda Gates, they certainly have that power couple vibe. So any competition that might have happened between them, if they do know each other, will be laid to the side. But perhaps they've had a lot of push and pull relationships in their life, where now they're both going to be pushing each other forward and pulling for each other to do well. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork, Yeah, transforming family dynamics, which means from their own individual families, shit they picked up along the way, and increasing inner peace. I like this couple. I gotta say, these soulmate reads have been really lovely this time around. But now what I will do is I will pop up the picture and we'll see what else arises. Shall we? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. We've got the divine feminine gossip in the shadow. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. With the light attribute, she's working towards awakening consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. And I do feel like these two may have trust issues and that they are really going to help each other heal that, because she does want someone to confide in with that Gemini mercurial mutable air in her element of fire. She wants to be able to express herself in a new way and in an honest way, preferably I'm feeling one with confidence rather than gossip. And she does have the stability for that. It feels like she has the wisdom, she has the unconditional love, she has that divine feminine nurturance within her, even if it's a guy, right? It's like that's still within there. That potential is so strong in the element of earth there, but her mind is at storm. You know, she might still be thinking about the pain of the past, or at least being influenced by her emotions mentally, but then in her emotional field, she has the card of celebration. So it could be she's having these sort of connect the dot aha moments emotionally that are really changing the way that she thinks. And a storm can appear out of nowhere, wreak havoc, and then disappear, but leaving the grounds well watered and the air crisp and clean. And really, the point of view of the soul there, the voice of the soul, is the card of the Lovers, that this is going to take work, and it's going to take a big decision, and it's going to be life-changing, but there is a true love affair available here. And with that card of dreams, she's been dreaming this for a long time, but really had to run the gamut. Probably had to deal with the rogues gallery in terms of lovers and twin flames and family members and just all of that in order to get to this place. But the voice of the higher self says, you are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. And I feel like that is part of that celebration card. She probably does feel this way, but really you just can't walk around saying that to people. So really looking for someone that she can, here's the word, confide in. Jumping over to the divine masculine thief archetype, the shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. And remember, that's only you think you lack if you're the divine masculine or the cross watcher here. The light attribute sheds light on the potential within you that can never be broken. That is so powerful, and I get that the two of them are like two pieces, two components, not two halves that make a greater whole, but that they definitely have a soul contract together that affects more than them. And what does he want? In the element of fire, he's got the devil there, which can certainly be about breaking to the old ways, breaking the evil behavior, the shadow behavior, but I also get the feeling that he's got this sexual edge to him, this animalistic thing, that he wants someone who is strong enough to be able to handle his sexuality. And keep in mind, that can be a female too, right? This is not about bodily gender. This is about energetic dynamic. And with the Ten of Swords there, it's like he's really run the gamut mentally. He's thought this out, and he's maybe exhausted about thinking about all that he's done and all the ways that he can sort of make up for it. And I'm sure he's taken a lot of action, because on the mental level, he's got the death card, that his mind, his whole belief system is being transformed. Perhaps he was devastated, desolated, reduced to ash, and now he's in that process of rising from it, because in his heart, in his emotional field there, he's got that card of the Empress, which she has in the Empress in the element of Earth. So he's feeling what she has already innate within her right now. And with that Ten of Wands from the point of view of the soul, saying, well, darling, you've completed the quest. You got this far. It's time to chill out. It's time to not just relax and rest to begin the next quest, but to forgive, with that angel of forgiveness there. That all lessons are forgiveness lessons at the end of it all, particularly when we realize we all did the best that we could considering our pain, our level of consciousness, and the choices and availability of potentials that we had at the moment. And so what is the What's the big risk here is the whisper of love from the higher self. Take a chance on love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. And does he have to do this all alone? Absolutely not. These two are a true soulmate contract with that mantra of creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. So I feel like when they do get together, when it is safe to do so, that there will be a real cooperation here and a real click, because, oh, they just gave me the words, these two are like partners in crime, but in a way that they have perhaps reformed or are in process of helping each other reform, forgive, and follow their dreams as a soulmate contract. It's a pretty neat read, my Saggies. So may the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their soulmate contracts for April, May 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may forgive, that they may manifest their dreams, that they may discover their limitlessness and take a chance on love for their well-being, for the well-being of the soulmate contract itself, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you for watching, my Sagittarians. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out my description box. There's good stuff down there that might be helpful for you, just saying. And really, seriously, may you be blessed with the very, very best in your soulmate contracts this April, May 2020. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.